All right, welcome back, Computer App students. We are going to review the concept time value of money. Time value of money can be broken into two pieces. You can break it into what we call simple interest. And the key to simple interest is you are doing a calculation one time. Right? Now, there's the old school long way of doing it, which is taking the principal times the interest rate and times the time. Now, time is usually in a fraction of a year, and that will get your interest. So if Mr. Clem goes to the bank with $200 and the bank is paying me 3% interest, I can go with the 3% or 0.03. Either way works. Now, if I leave it in there for one full year, my time factor is 1, right? 12 months out of a 12-month year equals P times R times T. I get $6 in interest, right? Calculated one time, simple interest. If I leave it in there for something less than a year, logically, I shouldn't get the same 6 months or $6 worth of interest. I should get something less. But what if I leave it in there for only 6 months? Okay, 6 months out of a 12-month year, or in theory, I should get about half of that interest, right? If I leave it in there for only 1 month, again, equals 1 divided by a 12-month year, or 0.083 and a whole bunch of threes. Again, less. What if I leave it in there for 3 years? Still 3%, but my time is now a full number 3. Logically, if we do math, it should be triple the amount here for 1 year, because we're leaving it in there for 3 times as long. So simple interest calculated one time, principal times rate times time. This is the old school way to do it. You can also do it using the future value function way. Now, the future value function is going to ask you to plug in the interest rate first. And we're also going to figure out on how long you're leaving it in there in this chunk of the function. If I'm leaving it in for 1 full year, I just leave it as 3%. N per. How many times am I doing this? Well, I'm doing the calculation one time. Third number is going to be 0. Present value is going to be the $200 deposited, and type is going to be 0. So I'm trying to match up with my first problem here, $200 at 3% interest for 1 year. Writing it the future value way, it is 3%, comma, that's my rate, calculated one time, 0, $200 for my principal, and I should come up with a total of 206. Now it went with a negative 206. So when I write my formula, I can say minus 200 because I'm depositing $200 in the bank. It's coming out of my checkbook or out of my whatever going to the bank. So I'm going to put minus 200. This brings me back both my principal and my interest. I did not earn $206 worth of interest. I get all $200 back plus $6 in interest. Just like I get $200 and $6 in interest. So this is the future value calc for simple interest. There are other ways to do this. This is not the only way to do it, but it is a simple, clean, easy way, in my opinion. How about we go ahead and do the future value calc for our second problem here, $200, 3% interest, but I'm only leaving it in for half of a year. So equals future value, 3%. How long am I leaving it in there? Am I leaving it in there for a full year? No, I'm only leaving it in for half of a year. So that's why I'm dividing that number by 2. How many times am I doing the calculation? 1 time. Payment is 0. Negative $200 is what I'm putting in. Now, in theory, I got my answer right here. The number should be 203. That's what I got. How about 1 month? Equals future value. 3%, but divided it by how long am I leaving it in there? Or how many times is this thing getting done? Well, it's getting done for 1 month. So I got to divide it by 12 to get it into a monthly interest rate. I'm doing the calculation 1 time, 0, 200, 0. In theory, I should say $200.50. Lastly, on simple interest, I'm going to go ahead and try and do this one that's longer than a year. So future value, I'm going to do it wrong on purpose. I'm going to take 3%, and I'm going to say, well, I'm going to leave it in there for 3 years. 0 minus 200, 0. Somehow my math doesn't work out. The reason my math doesn't work out is this second number, this N per, is how many times you're doing the calculation. Well, that's compound interest, right? If I'm saying I'm doing this calculation 3 times, I take the principal times rate times time, get the interest, add it back, then do it again, then add it back, then do it again. I need to take my 3% interest and multiply it by 3 because I'm doing 3 full years. And my N per is still only going to be 1 as we calculate simple interest. Now I should get $218 even. Right. We'll come back with our time value of money number 2, and we'll look at something called compound interest.